Hello everyone, I'm Laurel and welcome to my channel. In my last video I made this little fairy and she has a couple little bubbles on her, but when I had to mix more for adding in because I didn't mix enough, so the second batch I mixed, I poured it in and it created some bubbles along the side. And yes, this color is a little bit lighter than this. That's fine. I'm going to end up painting this anyways, but I'd like to fill in those bubbles. So this is a way you can fill in the bubbles, and I'm still using my KISREL Resin Casting Powder, and I'm just going to get a little bit and I'm going to put some in here. And I do need my paint. So I use these Artist Loft paints. It's a thicker consistency and it does color the casting powder really well. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit and just use just a tiny bit. First I'm going to pour in the water, and I'm not going to use that much because remember it's 3 parts to 1. Oops, I'm kind of making a mess there. I think it's because of the way the bowl is made, but that's okay. So I am making a little mess, but that's nothing new. Just making sure everything's mixed up. Get all that red incorporated. Now I don't know why this time it's making like a grittiness. I don't know if it's I did add too much water, so there we go. I think we could have done it a little thicker just because I want to spread it into those teeny tiny little holes. Well, not so teeny. Now when doing this, you can wear gloves. That's fine. I'm not. I should have, at least for this portion, because I'm getting it all over the place. And then just make sure everything is incorporated. I made the mixture a little thicker. And then I'm just going to turn this over to the side and place it into the little hole areas. And then you just wipe it with your finger to spread it. Now you have to work fast because it does set up quickly. Try to get whatever bubbles you see. And you could wear the gloves for this, but I'm just afraid that when you do this with the gloves, they'll kind of push the resin away, whereas when you're using your finger just to fix the bubbles. I see more bubbles than I did yesterday, or not yesterday, but on the video. And then if you get too much in one area, you could always just sand it down. And I see some up here. These are just little ones. I mainly wanted to get the larger ones. Just get it in there. You could also use a brush to put this in. Trying to hurry. Now this area, I don't know if I'm going to add to it. Now this is starting to set up a little bit. So I'm just making sure I get all the holes, or the bubbles. Now if it kind of gets a little bunched up like this one is a little on the right there, I can just sand that down. Okay. And then there's a couple spots here that I may have missed, so I'll just add. Okay, now this is setting up already, so I'm just going to add just a touch of water, just a teeny bit, and get it to be a little bit more liquidy. Now you get 5 minutes to do this, so I am trying to hurry. And like I said, I am going to paint this, and I have to sand the back. So for the most part, I got all those little spots. I do see a few other ones that I missed. And when you're done with that, since you have some left over, I'm going to set that aside to dry, and that still, you just let it sit for at least 48 hours. And then going to add just a touch more water just to make it a little more liquidy. Mix it up really well, and I'm going to add it to some of these. I make a pair of earrings or a pendant. And I just want to use up that leftover casting powder. And now I'm going to let that set for 30 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll show you these earrings, and the fairy should still be drying. And when these are done, I'll show you how to put in the eyelet screw before they're fully dry. So I'll be back in a minute. Also remember, when you're cleaning up, do not wash this stuff in your sink. It can clog your plumbing. You don't want that. If you got it on your hands like I did, I'm just using a baby wipe. And it cleans up everything really nice. And try using that or any other kind of wipes. But do not wash any of this stuff in your sink. Okay, so it's been a little more than 30 minutes, so we can remove this from the mold. I think these are really pretty. All they need is like a varnish on them, and that is it. And maybe get some of these rough spots off, just sand it a little bit. So all you need to do is, while it's still sort of soft, you use a drill with a very small drill bit, and you just start drilling a hole. I might have to go a little higher because this is ceramic, so you got to be careful so that you don't crack it. And it is a little tougher to drill, I'll say, than resin is. So I just started a hole. I'm hoping I could get those in. Oops. This one's a little softer. For some reason, this one isn't as soft. There we go. Oops, didn't have my drill turned off. So then all you need is a little bit of E6000, and you just screw this in. So now you can have the little loop facing forward like that, like this, or you can do it sideways. It's all up to you. Now, I think I got it all the way in. Might need a little bit more. Yeah, it might need a little bit more drilling. Just a little bit on this one. And let's see. So this was just a short video showing you basically how to fill in the little bubbles. Now you can see on here, you know, it's a little rough. All I have to do is sand it. Same over here, and I do have to sand the back still so it's flat. So that is finished. And then with the leftover, I made this cute little pair of earrings. Now these little pieces just break off if they're sticking out. And I just need to put a varnish on them or a clear coat. And then they're done. So if you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and press that bell for notifications of my upcoming videos. In the description box below, you will find a link to my Etsy shop, which is Creations by Laurel, and you'll also find links to my jewelry, my artwork, and my photography. Thank you again for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.